and welcome to Food Without Butters. Today I am going to show you how to make some peanut chutney. I grew up eating this chutney because I was so finicky about food when I was younger, and this was a go-to recipe that my mother used to make so that I could have food easily without making a fuss. So let's get started with the ingredients. So this recipe does not need a lot of ingredients. The first ingredient is some avocado oil or any odorless oil. I am going to add it to a medium pan, and the pan is on medium high. Into this, I am going to add some peanuts. So these are skinless peanuts. These are already dry roasted. If you can find at your local market where you can find the one with the skin and they're raw, great. If they're raw, they'll take longer to cook. If they are pre-skinned and roasted, then they shouldn't take you much time to roast them. And we're not roasting them in the pan, we're just getting the peanuts to change their color a little. So that's all we are doing. So I am going to add this, some Thai dry chili flakes, and I like using Thai chili flakes because they have a bite to them. I'm using about 4. Now, depending upon how tolerant you are to hot food, you can use as little as 2 to as much as 6. I like to have it at somewhere in the medium ground where it's like a 3 out of 5 in the spice level. So I'm gonna add this to it. Fresh garlic cloves. I do not recommend you using garlic paste or garlic powder or anything. Fresh, it's so much more easier to peel it, and it gives so much flavor to this recipe. Roast this until the peanut turns 2 shades darker, and you will exactly know what I'm talking about. Now, if you can tell, few of the peanuts have turned a little darker, and this is exactly where I want the peanuts to be. I'm going to turn up the flame and immediately transfer this into my blender. If you leave it on the pan, chances are your peanuts will burn, and you don't want that. I'm going to let this cool for about 10 minutes before I blend it. And meanwhile, I'm gonna go grab the base of the blender. Now, I am just letting it cool a little because it's so hot, and I don't want the blender, although my blender can handle it, but I don't want this to explode on my face. I have this mortal fear that a blender that's hot will explode, probably because the quality of blenders that I used to use as I was a child were pretty different. But I would recommend wait for 10 minutes, and when I come back, I'll show you how to blend it. So folks, we are back, and let's go through the last 3 ingredients here. So in some water, I have some tamarind concentrate. Now, you know how I love simplifying my ingredients. So what I did was I mixed the 3 tablespoons of tamarind concentrate in some plain water and some salt. Now with the salt, if you already have dry roasted peanuts that have salt added to it, you might want to go easy on the salt. Mine does have a little salt, so to this I will add very little salt. And if you don't have, you have the kind that does not have any salt, you know what to do, just add some salt. You can always add salt later, but you cannot remove the salt if it gets really salty, so just be careful about that. Add the tamarind paste and the water mixture. And now we'll blend it until it turns into a coarse paste. Okay, we are done. Let's check the texture. I'm a little too short for this, am I not? So the texture is pretty nice. All right, time to taste it. Oh my gosh. It only gets better as frequently you make it, because then you exactly know what you need in it. It's garlicky. It has a bite to it, but this is not spicy for me, but I know if I add more, it will be pretty hot. And you know, it's perfect for sandwiches. Sometimes what I do is I just slop it in a sandwich, which is what my mother used to do. And then add some cucumber and carrots or tomatoes and just make a little sandwich to school. So now that I don't go to school, you can still make it. You can have it with idli. Idli is If you're from India, you probably know what idli is. It's cake, a lentil and rice cake that has been steamed, which was never my favorite when I was younger. So this was the only way I would eat the lentil cake. So give this recipe a try. Let me know what you think. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. I really enjoy making these recipes, and you liking this video and subscribing just validates what I do. And I will see you next week. Bye.